Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I feel like it's been so long since I filmed. You're here, I'm Gabby. And today's video, I'm filming a reading wrap up, which I feel like it's been so long. The last one I did was February and it's now May while I'm filming this, which is crazy. So, filming a reading wrap up of what I read in March and April because I did not film one during March. I was a little busy and I think I wanted to put a different video out, so I just decided to hold off and wait for this one, wait until May. So this light is bothering me, so let's get on with the video. The first book I do not have. It was indeed a library book and it was March, so I don't have it anymore because 2 weeks have gone by. But I read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, just right here. So basically it's the first book in the Bellinger Sisters universe, but I read the other one first. I read Hook, Line, and Sinker first back in January, and I wanted to go back and read this one because it's about her older sister. I'm glad I read them in this order. I kind of like this one better, but they're both really good, but I like this one better. So it's about these two sisters who move back to where their dead dad is from because, well, in this situation, the girl gets in trouble. And her stepdad is like, you have to become an adult, go do something that's valuable. So they go back to where their dad is from, and then they are just starting up their own business, or her own business, the sisters. The other sister just helps. And she meets this guy. He has a ring on his finger. His name, I forgot his name. It's something with a beats, like Brandon or something. But so his wife died a while back. She's dead. And he hasn't dated since then because he feels weird about it. But he meets her and they click, and it's so cute. And I gave this book a 4 stars. Typically, I literally almost every book I read is a 4 stars. There are a few 5 stars and then a few 3 stars, but every book that I like is a 4 stars, which should probably be a 3. But I just feel bad giving books a 3 if I like them. So they're 4 stars. And I did enjoy that book, but again, it's not too memorable or anything. But it was very good. It was very cute. And I liked it. And I think you should read it if you want a cute little beach town romance novel, which I have been, oh my god. So the other day, I calculated how many of the books I've read this year had the title beach or something to do with water or summer in it, and it was 40-something% of the books I've read had something to do with the beach or summer or water. And it, I know I'm always in a summer mood, but that's kind of shocking. I thought I read more than that. The next book I read, very exciting, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I also do not have this one, but basically it was the only John Green book I hadn't read, out of his teenager books. So I wanted to read it, especially because the movie came out last week, 2 days ago. I watched it. I loved the movie. I definitely prefer the book, but I love the people in the movie. It's a very good movie, but let me tell you about the book. So basically it's about this girl, Aza, and she has OCD, and it's she's really struggling with it throughout the book. But she meets this kid. No, she doesn't meet this kid. She knows this kid named Davis from, they call it a SAD camp from when they were kids, because her dad had died and his mom had died, so they got sent to it. Anyways, his dad disappears because he's been caught for some crime, because he's a billionaire who's been he's been a criminal for a while, but he's just been caught, so he disappears. So her and her friend get in contact with him again, and it's basically about, it's just a story about how she's struggling with her OCD and anxiety, and how she's trying to overcome it, but then it doesn't work. And it's really good. I think it's tied for first of my favorite John Green books. My other favorite is Looking for Alaska. His books, I can't say this. I'm not spoiling it. I give this book a 5 star because it was so good. And it was very interesting. I really like the concept of it. The Turtles All the Way Down, the title. I love her friendship with Daisy. Obviously, it's not the greatest at times because they're teenagers and they're going through it. but I love, they have this little thing where they go to Applebee's together, and it's just so cute. And so that's why I gave that book a 5 stars, because like it felt very familiar. Also set in Indianapolis, so she's a little Midwest teen, just like me. So I liked that. It was very resonating. So yeah, 5 stars. Okay, the next book I read, so good, so cute. This author, oh, I love this author so much. So I read Betting on You by Lynn Painter. She also wrote Better Than the Movies, which is my favorite romance novel ever. And I guess, I don't know, it might be because like she writes about like high schoolers, and most romance novels you read are not about high schoolers, and I'm in high school. But also she's like a really good writer and everything. It's so cute. It's so cute. So basically, Betting on You is about this girl, and her parents are getting divorced, and on her flight back from seeing her dad, she meets this kid, and he's so annoying, and they sit next to each other on the plane, and they annoy each other so much, and he's like, oh, she's so uptight, like, da-da-da, and she's like, oh, he's crazy, like, I hate him, why is he so annoying, why is he doing this stuff? Anyways, and then a couple years later, or whenever, they meet again, and it's basically just like, I think they start a fake relationship. Yeah, it's definitely a fake relationship to piss her stepdad prospect off, but then it's so cute. They work together, and they go on a little family vacation together, and there is an incident where a bird crashes through the window, but Lynn Painter, like, her books always hit. They're always so good. They're so cute. And I give this book a 4 star, which is good. Okay, so the next book I read was Legendary by Stephanie Garber, which is the second book in the Caraval series. So basically in my last reading wrap-up, Caraval was the last book I read. It was literally like I finished it February 29th. So you should go watch that to see my opinions on Caraval if you're planning on reading the series, but Legendary was even better. Like, when people had said that, like, I'd been looking at the reviews and they're like, oh, like, I love this one, but Legendary was so much better, and I was like, there's no way, because Caraval was so good, but this was so much better. Like, it was just more magical, I feel like, and less stressful. Like, yes, the world was ending kind of, like, even more. Like, in the first one, there wasn't a possibility of the world ending, but in this one, there was. But it was still less stressful. I don't know. But Tella is the main character. So the first book is about her sister, Scarlet, and Tella basically decides to play Caraval this time around. And she's not with Dante, but she ends up with Dante a lot. And she has to make some sacrifices. So does he. She's trying to figure out who Legend is. One of the Fates has escaped from the deck of cards. This is not, more than one. This is not good, but so I give this book a 4 star because I'm really big on fantasy, and these kinds of books are so cute. I really did like this book. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think you should read the series because it's so good. So this next book is the first book that I do actually have on me. So I can't remember, what day was this? March 21st. Okay, so the week before I read this book, I watched Dirty Dancing for the first time in my life, and I have not been the same since. Dirty Dancing is my all-time favorite movie now. I have watched it in the past month and a half probably 7 times, or 8. Who's counting anymore? So I was in a really big, like, 60s Patrick Swayze mood, so I read The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Now this is a classic. This is so good. This is the book that got me back into reading after like 6th grade, when I had been like, oh, reading's uncool, and then it was 7th grade and I picked up this book again and I was like, and then I did not put any books down since then. Like, that like got me back into reading. I vividly remember it. So yeah, this book, I knew I would like it, obviously, since I've read it before. I got through it so quickly. This book is a 5 stars. I will always forever love it so much. It's so sad, but basically it's about the greasers and the Socs. But two of the greasers get into some trouble because one of them kills somebody. On accident, self-defense. But basically, it's their story following like the next like week or two or so. And it's so sad. But you have to read this at least once in your life. It is so good. The next book I read is, I don't have it. It was a library book. It's The Summer Girl by Elle Kennedy. It's the third book in the Avalon Bay series. And I believe that is the final book, but I'm not sure if she'll come out with any more. It's the last book as of right now. So it's basically about this girl. I think it was Cassie. And she used to live in the Bay, but she moved after her parents got a divorce, and she's like in college now, but she has to go back for one summer because her grandma is selling the house. And her neighbor is this kid Tate, who everyone knows, like we've read in the past few books, like he does not settle. He is always hopping from girl to girl, but everyone loves him either way. He never like hurts anyone. Everyone loves him. And basically she accidentally eavesdrops a girl dumping him. And so that's how they meet. And it's a romance novel, obviously, and it's on a beach town, obviously. So it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. I'm trying to think. I think I did like this one the best because out of all the guys, like the first 2 books are about the twins, Evan and Cooper. And then this one is about Tate, and Tate is the most likable out of all of them, for real. Like, so it was definitely my favorite out of all 3 Avalon Bay books. So I think you should read it. It was very cute. I just love the series, like especially because I'm always yearning for summer. The next book I read, library book, The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This title has nothing to do with this book, but I love this book. It was so good. It's basically like Meredith, the main character, her sister died a couple years ago, and they haven't been back to like her family's place since then, but there's a marriage happening there of her cousin, so they have to come back this summer. And basically, I don't know if you've ever heard of the game Senior Assassin, like in high school, where they have a water gun fight, like continuously to see who's like the last one standing. But it's like they play that game. So she meets this kid, she accidentally kicks him in the face on the ferry to the island. And basically he's like the stepbrother of the groom. So she's never met him before, and it's like cute little love story, cute little romance. They're about to go to college, I think. And it's also about her healing from the death of her sister and like having to move on from these things. And she also like just stopped communicating with all her friends like from this area. And so it's about how she fixes those relationships as well. I did really like this book. It was really cute. Doesn't top better than the movies, but it was really, really cute. I give this book 4 stars, and I think you should read it too. The next book I read is also a series. It is Terms and Conditions, which is the Dreamland Billionaire series, and it's the 2nd book in the series. So this one is about the 2nd brother, because they're all about a different brother. Kind of weird, I don't know. But it's about Declan, and it's so cute. And he accidentally, they all want to get this inheritance from their grandfather, but they all have to do something in order to get that. And so his part is that he has to get married and have a kid in order to like get the inheritance. And so he has his fiance, and then he accidentally scares her away. Like she was like under a contract or something, but then she's like, no, I can't marry this man. And so his secretary steps up immediately because he's literally at his engagement party, and she's like, nah, I'm not doing it. Secretary steps up and she's like, I will do it. And so basically they move in together, and they get married, and they kind of hate each other for a while, even though like she's the only one who really understands how he works, and vice versa. Just because they're like constantly around each other, like she's given up so much to work for him. And so it's basically like following them and how they learn even more about each other, and how they learn that like, oh, like how Declan's like learns that he can actually love someone instead of just being used by someone, and how she learns that like she can stay committed and she doesn't have to be afraid of relationships even after her childhood, even after her parents' relationships were so bad. I give this book a 4-star because it was really good. It was really cute. She's a very big plant girly, and she's just really likable. And as much as he's stupid and mean, he's also really likable. So I gave it a 4-star, and I do really like this series so far. I went into it not knowing anything about it, and I was shocked, and I was weirded out that they owned like a Disney World basically, but it's getting less weird. It's cool, I guess. The next book I read was Finale, which is the third and final book that's out, at least. I believe there's another one coming out, of the Caraval series. So it's following Scarlet and Tella in this one, so both of them, but Tella's a little more interesting, I would say. But basically, I can't really talk about this. Just know that it's the third book in the series because I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, I will say something. So in the second book, you find out who Legend is. And it's more about Legend. Like it talks like I don't know how to explain it without spoiling anything. But like it just goes into Legend's, well, it doesn't go into Legend's life. It goes into how Legend, like, what's happening to him. Oh, let me explain this. Let me say this. So basically it talks more about how fates and the magical world work and like what will happen if they take over for real and why they have to be stopped. It's just like the third book, the continuation of the last one. And I give this one 4 stars because it was really good. I really love the series. It's like one of my favorite fantasy series now that I've read it finally. And I think you should really read it because this series is so good. Like, Fourth Wing was really good, but it was like longer. I love these books so much. Basically, I love every book I read, but like that's okay because why read a book if you don't love it? The next book was such an impulse buy. I was at Target with my friend and something shocking happened to us while we were there. I'm not going to tell you the story because it's quite personal, quite funny. It was hilarious. Just trust you had to be there. And I couldn't recover, so I bought myself 2 slices of chocolate pie and a book. I bought Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. And now, I read her other book, Meet Me at the Lake, which people said was her, like, worst book. But I didn't know. But I still really liked it anyways because it was so cute. But this book was even better. People are right, this book is so good. Basically, this is about a girl who goes to the same summer house every single year. And she has her 2 neighbors who are brothers. And it just stops. Something happens. You don't find out till the end, pretty much, or like halfway through the middle. I don't know. I can't remember where. But she stops going. And then 12 years later, the boy's mom dies. And this was like a second mother to her. Like, she loved her so much. And so she has to come back for the funeral. And it's basically following, like, it's just like going back in time. So every chapter is like one right now at the funeral and her life, like what's happening then. And then it goes back to every single summer to tell you like how their relationships developed, like what might have happened, and then it tells you what happened. I really like it when books go like flashback, new chapter, flashback, new chapter, flashback, you know, because it's just so interesting getting that backstory and like the lore on the characters. Basically, it's just like following the like few days that she's there for a funeral, and it talks about their falling out, and then it like they're trying to heal the falling out, like trying to get back to where they were, trying to become people who will talk to each other again. So I give this book 4 stars. I love the cover. It's so cute. I love the book. I love the characters. The characters are so likable. Like, so unbelievably likable. And it's so cute. I think I read this in like a day. So that's all I have to say about this book. But you should read it. The next book I read, I don't know why I read because this is a reread, so I don't know why I felt the need to reread this. But it definitely has something to do with, like, I had a month left of school at this point. I have 3 weeks. So this was, like, last week. I don't know why I'm acting like this was so long ago. This was literally last week. But I had a month left of school, and I'm so done with school. All I want it to be summer. So I reread The Summer I Turned Pretty. I will always say I love this book so much. And it's obviously for a younger reading level, like, but I'm okay with that. I still reread Percy Jackson because I love it so much. But what I thought was really funny, do I have to explain what this is about? I'm sure you know what The Summer I Turned Pretty is about. If you don't, you should read it. I'm sure you know. But, like, basically, like, I had annotated this, like, the first time I had ever read it. Of course, I flipped the pages without annotations. Look. But, like, I had, like, all my annotations and stuff. And this one says, it'll be a summer you'll never forget. And I said, this year for real. Girl, I don't even remember when I read this. Like, I don't remember this summer. Ugh, I love this book so much. It's so cute. This book is a 4 stars because, yeah. So basically, if you're a teenager who likes to read, who likes romance, who likes drama, you should read this. I don't know why you haven't yet, but I just needed to reread this. Okay, so the last book I read was The Summer I Turned Pretty. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and sticking it out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, come back for next week's video. I have no idea what that will be, actually, but I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm getting kind of cold because the window's open. You can probably hear the bird. But again, make sure to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you later.